And a very good afternoon to you. I'm Lisa Lord with the CBC News at noon. Visitors who have made Barbados their destination of choice over the years will be included in the island's 50th anniversary of independence celebrations. Tourism Minister Richard Seeley says they are trying as much as possible to integrate tourists, especially repeat visitors. He was speaking on the Canadian-based Chum FM radio breakfast show, which is being broadcast from Barbados this week.
We see them as being very much a part of the whole national experience. The Canadians especially, a number of them over the years have treated Barbados as a home away from home and not so much as a vacation spot. So we think the celebration is something that they can be a part of.
Sure.
And of course this is a good time. 2015 we had just over 74,000 Canadians coming here, and that was a record number actually.
Reiterating the importance of the Canadian market is Barbados Tourism Marketing Incorporated Director for Canada, Peter Mears. He's optimistic about this year, after 2015 saw the number of tourists from that market increase by 13% or 74,000 visitors.
This year, some challenges with the Canadian dollar, the falling value of the Canadian dollar presented some challenges, but we are still resilient thus far for the year. Looking forward to a good summer. One of the things that we have been aggressively working on is the promotion of the festivals and events. And certainly Crop Over this year is shaping very well for us. Plans are well advanced relative to Food, Wine and Run Barbados Festival, Barbados Open Water. So it's the promotion of the festivals and events continues to be a deliberate strategy on our part to sort of add value to the totality of the Barbadian experience for the Canadian visitor.
Well, Barbados is moving ahead with plans for a trade mission to Cuba next month. Industry Minister Donville Innes says government is looking to take advantage of the new opportunities being afforded in that communist country. Minister Innes, who met with Cuba's ambassador to Barbados, Francisco Fernandez Pina, yesterday, said that the mission will comprise government and private officials. He gave no date for the visit, but added that from next month, Banks Breweries Limited will be seeking to export approximately 1 million cases of beer to Cuba. Mr. Innes says apart from forging deeper economic relations with Cuba, the Frondel Stewart administration is also eager to engage robustly in trade, and there are a number of companies ready to do business with the Spanish-speaking country. A big drug haul for police yesterday at Belle Plaine in St. Andrew. It's there that lawmen discovered 222 cannabis plants under cultivation, ranging from about 4 inches to 6 feet tall. During the raid around 4 in the afternoon, police executed a warrant at a home in the Belle Plaine housing area. According to police, the drugs were found on the premises. The suspect, who was the focus of that warrant, fled the scene, eluding police. And we'll have more details as they become available. The Barbados Secondary Teachers Union is of the view that secondary schools in Barbados are not ready for the CVQ or Caribbean Vocational Qualification Program being rolled out by the Ministry of Education. BSTU President Marianne Redmond gave her take on that situation during a recent meeting to update teachers on a number of issues.
The school now has to be at industry standard. And it is so ironic and paradoxical that for a ministry that claims that they don't have money to properly have schools cleaned and so on, industrially cleaned. I just came from another school where there's a problem. A new school, a totally different one. You are embarking on a program which requires a lot of money, getting your school to industry standard in a variety of different subjects.
The BSTU boss suggests that more training for teachers is needed in order to deliver the CVQ program.
The ministry seems to have forgotten too that there are things called pilot programs, that you can put something out there and try it first on a trial basis before you do a large-scale implementation, and try to iron out the problems as they arise before it is implemented across the system. in schools that are not industry standard, where they're attempting to start the CDQ programs, and those students now have to be transported to other schools, what is the potential impact then on the children's timetables?
Well, some local manufacturers continue to battle a wide range of challenges to produce high-quality products for both the local and export markets. And one such businessman with a love for producing only the best is now showcasing new lines of products that include shoes, bags, belts, and other items.
When you look at these shoes, you probably think to yourself, they're imported from some company overseas, but they're actually made right here in Barbados by a company called Eastlanders Manufacturing. It's their Gab line of shoes. Gerald Bryan is Managing Director of Eastlanders Manufacturing Barbados Limited. Mr. Bryan got his start in the shoe repair business years ago, but decided to build on his repair skills by creating a business that manufactures shoes and other items with an emphasis on high quality. He says he waited to officially launch the business last year to ensure that he had the equipment necessary to produce shoes on par with any of the best imported shoes in the island.
When I started this business a couple of years ago, we started manufacturing in the IDC building a couple of years ago. I had closed that section of it and only reopened about 2 years ago. What motivates me to really get back into it is because when I realized some of the imported shoes, the quality of them. For example, school shoes, parents had to, just after the first 2 weeks in the new school term, parents had to bring shoes to be stitched. So when I see some of this, I say, well, I know I can do better than this. So after that, I did a lot of training in doing shoes for people with foot problems and so on. So that's one of the key areas that we are back into it now.
Now the line of children's and ladies' shoes falls under the Gab line, along with the school bags and women's bags, while the line of steel-tip shoes and work boots falls under the Black Lander line.
We branch off into school bags, and we find that there was another area that some of the bags are very costly, and then after a couple weeks the straps popped out and so on. We currently use a umbrella material, which is a waterproof material for bags. And then the straps, you find that there's some technical side of it that the straps have to be a certain width in order to support the children's back. So all that is data that we actually put into our school bag. So when you buy a Gab bag, you're not just buying a bag that was made locally, but it's a bag that will help correct the posture, the children's back.
So what's next for Eastlanders Manufacturing? At present, the company mainly makes its products on special order, as required by specific stores that want a special line. However, with an ever-growing demand for their high-quality products, Mr. Bryan says the establishment of an outlet is just a couple of months away. In the meantime, they're working on different branded items around the 50th anniversary of Independence Day.
The way forward for manufacturers, sometimes people, for example, shoes, it's a big issue. Some people would say that a shoe making Barbados, it can be of no good quality. But believe it or not, it's a better quality than most of the imported ones because all of our shoes are stitched. People don't realize that the glue that manufacturers use for these shoes, that is heat activated, and heat also deactivates. And that's when we was in the repair business, you find that a lot of shoes will unstick as a result of that. So every shoe that is leaving in this factory actually is stitched. The soles are stitched onto the uppers.
In the meantime, should you want to check out any of the products at Eastlanders Manufacturing, you can visit the factory at Vauxhall Christchurch, give them a call at 823-2973, or send them an email at eastlanders@live.com. Ryan Broom for the Business Report.
Stay with us. We'll have regional and international stories right after the break.